Hey, greetings to everybody out there. Mark Miller here. Rory's on the line with me.
Hello.
I'm seeing we've got kind of some lag. I'm expecting lag today. I still have S&B says hi there. Greetings, S&B. We're glad to have you here with us. We're expecting lag today. I've got still low quality internet. I'm expecting high quality stuff to be worked on today and hopefully fixed tomorrow. So we'll be back up to our green lights. Today we're seeing red and orange warning lights. So, that's what we're dealing with
Yeah,
for now.
fair enough.
So we're doing our best. Let's jump over here. Let's bring up over here. See this? We've got the source code out here. The code we're going to work on is here. We have been working on getting the drones to be able to fly underneath a portal and have the portal drop out drop that meteor out for it. Let me do this. I'm going to have to shut down Kill Chrome a second here. Let's do that. And
so, of course, the critical piece with the dropping the meteor wasn't so much getting it to drop when you passed under. It was getting it to drop in time for that when you passed under, it would arrive at the same time. So gravity would meet you, as it were, en route.
Exactly.
And we had a hard time getting there in some respects, but what we arrived with is actually not bad at all.
It's not bad. Now, a couple days ago, I got an email from Will Bennett, who's a big fan of the show and who's been, a big contributor as well. And Will was saying that. By the way, I'm compiling right now. There's the little icon right there at the end of my finger. Launch previously selected. Please choose another. I don't even know what that means.
Wow.
I've never seen that error before. Looks like it's loading though. Let's see. There, it's got the right address. It's the first time loading, so it might be taking a while. Anyway, Will sent me an awesome email. He's been kind of nudging us to change our physics engine a little bit to work with primarily velocity. We initially started with a physics engine that worked with distance, essentially, as kind of a primary value that would be calculated, and which was at first appealing to me because I only had to track like a starting point, initial velocity, and then under gravity or whatever the forces were acting on it, I could calculate later to find out where it was. So the distance made sense in that moment. However, since we've done a number of other things, such as this thing where we're trying to calculate the position of the drone, where it's going to cross underneath the portal. Here, let's go ahead and get this. Let's do a test sample 4, which should. I didn't see anything change there. Oh, it's still loading. That's why. So we're still loading up there, right underneath the CodeRushed logo. You can't quite see it. Let me move it down a little bit right there. You can. It just finished loading. So now let's try it. Test sample 4, and they are. And so Will sent me an awesome, essentially preview of this of a solution to this problem that used essentially his recommended physics and I think a smarter calculation. So Will kind of leapfrogged our calculation abilities, Rory. And
well, that's good.
And I said, hey, Will, why not come on the show and help us out? And he said, sure, I can do it Rory style and be audio only. So so he's going to do that, and that might happen tomorrow. We might have him here. So that's
fantastic.
So what I want to do is I just want to kind of put this work on hold for a second. And instead, what I want to work on today is getting the drones to warp in. That's what I'm looking for. So the ability to warp in from a place other than the CodeRushed logo. Right now, if
Okay.
we just hit launch on the CodeRushed logo, you get that. You can see it come out, and if I type in the word drone preceded by an exclamation mark, I come out of it. What I want to do instead is I want to, there we go, there's the catch right there, which is not bad. It's not bad. We have a not bad solution. We could walk away from this, but I wanted to invite Will on, and if he's available and we can do this on Thursday, I think we might do that. So what I want to do instead today is I want to warp in. And I thought it might be interesting to just start from wherever I am, and I'll show you where I am right now. You're looking at a preview window right now. Let me just double check to make sure yeah, there it is right there. Let me just move some things around on my machine, get the monitor set up. So you're looking at a preview window of a graphic that I have that is essentially, it's the underside of a spinning spaceship, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to shrink this thing down. So let's go in and actually start playing with this a little bit. I'm going to drop this down in here. We can move it off to the side over here. And so I want to create this thing like this. Let me zoom in. There's at least 100% there. So you can kind of see. And it's kind of low quality as it spins, but it'll be higher quality when we render it. Each image will look like this. Let me undo it a second, because I actually want to, before I do that, I want to get this thing into a loop. It's not in a loop right now. I want to make it into a loop. The second half of this software that you don't see, here I'll bring it up on screen for a second, and let's, I guess, move this out of the way, is right here. So I'm in Adobe Premiere Pro. And if I put both of these on screen, you can kind of see what happens. As I move this around here along the timeline, it's spinning it.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you instead look at the pretty picture while I go in here, and I'm just going to play with the...
So you're playing with layers of video rather than layers of art that you might in a normal sort of Paint.net kind of style.
Exactly, which makes it really easy to grab resources. In fact, a number of the resources I've got in here, like such as, for example, when we switch back over here and I type in seed, for example, the video that plays, that animation that plays right there to draw those flowers coming up, that's from a video. I think it had a black background or a white background. I removed it. Did all this in Premiere. I figured out where the loop was as well, and I kind of modified it a bit so that it could loop a little bit better. Then I generated the resources. So back to Premiere Pro, what I'm going to do here is first find the loop. So I'm going to say, here's our starting position. Maybe let's start where we're completely flat, just like this. So the top part is flat like that. And then so I'm going to trim inside of, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Hold on a second.
So looking at this has got symmetry on I don't know, it's a 6-way axis?
Yeah, all I need to do is spin it
So a sixth of the way around.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess.
So right here, I want to, let me cut this, and I'm going to make this point the start of the video. So I'm going to do that over there. So that's the start. And then we're going to get it to spin all the way to, I guess I would call that the flat point, and move it back one frame and cut it there. And that's the end. And so
maybe. I'm looking at those 6 points and thinking they're not identical to each other.
So, oh really? Well, that's not good.
I think there's some shading. To my eyes, it's a little brown on the right-hand side of that topmost one.
It better not be. All right, so
but
let's hold on a second.
Interesting. We'll see what it looks like anyway.
I'm just zooming in to make sure I've got it back to back, and I just put two of these back to back, and we're about to step over the join. Let's see what happens. There's the step. I think we're okay.
It's not bad, actually,
we just stepped from 1 to 2. Let me get a couple more of these in, so we got a full rotation here. I've just quadrupled it, and now I've got, and I'm going to take that, and I'm going to double that again, which means I've got 8 of these little mini rotations. Let's play it from the beginning. Here we go. Is something changing in here? Oh, it's the middle.
I'm not sure.
It's the middle.
Oh, okay.
It's the middle piece.
Not the bit I expected to. Fair
enough. Know what though? I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to fix it with by cropping it out. So let me go into effects here. Let me switch over so you can see what I'm doing over here, and move this back out of the. I think I can kind of do this a little bit. Let me kind of get this halfway on the screen a little bit. that going to work a little bit better? I can also dock it. Let's see if I can dock it here. What's the, yeah, do it over here like this. So we can see it all at once. Not my favorite to be working at this lower res. Let's get this so it fits. But now you can see what I'm doing. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
So now what I'm going to do, let's do another thing too that I can do. So instead of copying this all the way across, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to create a nest is what I'm going to do. And then I'll make copies of the nesting and I'll show you this. So let's go grab the crop. We'll drag it over here like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop it. I'm just going to say, let's take the whole thing and just crop the whole thing out. Now in the background, you see the portal because that's just from the screenshot I have in the background, just to give me some contrast here to see what's going on. But I've cropped the whole thing out, but I'm going to add a mask here, a circular mask, which now what I can do is come in here like this. And I can kind of resize this mask. So it is, it just kind of fits in, and we have instead a spinning disc, which I'm totally cool with from an artistic standpoint here. Let's zoom this into 100%. And then what I want to do is I want to take the feathering and feather even more. And so let's feather it like that. That's what I want to do. And so now what will happen is when we spin it, we shouldn't see that jump is what I'm suggesting. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to nest this. I just talking about nesting. And so we're going to call this a, what is this, 1/5 spin, I think? There's 5 of these sides. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1/6. 1/6 spin is what we'll call this, like this. And now I've got a nest, which means I can treat this like a regular clip. I'm going to just double it up like that. And then I'm going to take that whole thing and I'm going to nest that and call it 1/3 spin. Like that. And I'm going to say, okay. And then I'm going to, whatever I can keep.
So this is very like grouping items in a vector-based graphics
Right.
package.
The difference is that before, when I had a whole bunch of these back to back, I would have had to copy and paste that cropping to all of these to have it have an effect. And now it has an effect all the way across the board. So now we've got 2/3 of a spin here. And here's the cross. Watch as it gets right across this line. Should be smooth. It's smooth. Okay? So what that means is that 1/6 spin all the way across the board is good. The last thing I really have to do is I have to resize this. So let me get rid of that. I'm just going to take work with my 1/3 for now, and let's resize it. So let's click up here. Let's grab its scale. Oh, but you know what? Hold on. I want to drill all the way in, and I want to grab this and cut it, get rid of it, because I don't want to resize the background. Let's close that, get back out here, and let's paste it in. Paste that same piece in, and pop it down here. Now we can go resize what we want to resize. Okay, so let's do it again. Here's the 1/3 spin. Let's drop it down in size. And I'm thinking probably about that big. So that's kind of what we would see on screen against a background that is light, against a background that is dark. Hold on, let me grab something and bring it in, and we'll play with that, see what that looks like. Against a dark background, it's going to look like this. So it's not quite as good. All right, but I think we can fix that, so it looks a little bit better. So let's do that a little bit. In terms of the size, I think it's good. That's the right size right there. So let's go in and we'll drill inside of here. And
just looking at the chat room for a second, we've got World Wake joining us. Says hi guys. Hi World Wake. You join us as Mark is demonstrating some of the techniques he's been using for the creation of assets for our interactive chat room game system that we're building.
Right. Sorry. Go ahead, Rory.
Well, I was just going to say, you join us as we're starting to take a sort of a still image, as it were, originally, of the underside of a mothership and transform it into a warp gate of sorts.
Yeah.
And we've been blotting out the right pieces, allowing for some rotation, and
yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Good already.
So I just realized my mask wasn't including these lights that I really like here. So I'm going to put those lights in there. That may also change our perspective, like on what this looks like. It's a little bit better. But what I want it to have is I want it to have like a glow in the background. That's kind of what I'm looking at. So let's go work on that glow. I'm going to jump in here. What I want to do is I'm just going to duplicate this, put another layer right behind it of the same imagery. And then I'm going to grab Gaussian blur right here, drag it onto it. So that's going to give us a little bit of a glow or blur. I wonder if there's actually, let me see if there's any kind of glow kind of thing. A VR glow and an alpha glow. I haven't played with these. Let's see what they do. Let's grab a VR glow on here and say...
So these are effects that will apply to an image or are they effects that just work in and of themselves in theory?
I don't know. I've got the bottom piece right here. I'm not sure. I'm adjusting these things. Oh, it kind of glows itself. It glows the item. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Oh, interesting. But it doesn't go beyond. What happens if I do this and make it blurry? Ah, interesting combination of
Is
effects.
this an effect? I don't know if the software allows for this because I've not used it myself, but does this software allow for you to change the properties of the effect over the timeline so that you could get it to
Mm-hmm.
glow more and then
Yep,
less?
I sure can. Let's do that. I like that idea. Let's do one other thing. Let's set let's see what's going on here. On the one below, it seems like we need another secondary crop on here. I'm just copying the other crop, putting on there just to get rid of it in the middle there. Okay, so yeah, Rory is talking about a glow that changes over time. Let's do that. We can grab our opacity and animate that. So I can say here it's at 0, and at the end it's at 100%.
Okay.
So there is, let's back up one and say we're at 100% here. And then now if we do this, it's going to glow like that.
Nice.
Okay, so there's just for the turn. And if we come out to our full one, here's what it's going to look like. Glowing. Okay, and it's not
So it
going
doesn't
back
dip
down.
down again.
Yeah, let's go
So,
fix
yeah.
that. So I think to fix that, I think what we want to do is we want to be not at 1/3 spin, but at or I'm sorry, not at 1/6 spin. So I'm going to take out my opacity here. I'm going to take out the here and I'm going to animate it in the other pieces is what I'm going to do. Oh wait, but it's the glow though. So wait, hold on. We can do two things. We can either, let's maybe do this. If I put this here and here, let's cut it here actually, and let's go out to 1/3 spin. And in 1/3 spin, we'll put it underneath both of these. So what we'll do is we're going to use the nested piece from here, but the glow from the other, right, like this. And then, so what we'll do is on the second one, we will start
Reverse it, go from 100 and go down to 0.
right, exactly, and go to 0
Nice.
like this. And so
This is really nice to have a tool that works this way. This is what we've talked about this often. It's like whenever processing gets more, what it does is it allows for technological things that you've been able to do before to function that much faster. But because they are that much faster, they become a more granular, a sort of a base building block that they could never have been before because they were just too slow. So what you
yes,
have here is a piece of kit that allows you to conceptualize and do things which, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever the distance was, would have taken hours to render this basic stuff. But you can get a preview of it right here, and you can just effectively use that preview as a kind of a feedback loop. And you can say, right, so we can do this right now. If we can do
right,
that, what else could we do built on top?
right.
And the same works for almost any set of tools you can imagine.
Okay, so there we go. So for 2/3 of a spin, we've got that right there. So now what's really cool about this, so now we've got a little bit of a glow that kind of comes up and goes away right there. I think I want to play with that glow a little bit. I think I want it not so bright. So I'm just going to go in here. Here's this is the glow right
Yep.
here. I think what I want to do here actually is I want to nest this. I want to undo, actually want to get the glow on its own thing as well. So I can make a change to one place here. So I'm going to nest the glow here, get rid of this one, and I'm going to duplicate this glow, and then now we've just got to reverse those opacity points right in there. So here we're going to say we were going to start at, I guess we're starting at 0, and then we're going to go out
Just went up to 2% there.
and go out to 100% right here. Was I 2% at the beginning? You're right.
I think it may have dragged.
And then let's go into glow, and let's glow. I think has got animation on it. Let's change that so in the nested piece we don't have anything. We're just right at 100% like that. And so there's glow there, and then we're going to just come out here, and we're going to fix it in these two places here, where this is going to go from opacity 100% out to 0 at the end, right there, like that. So there's 0, and then we go here. This one is going to go from 0 out to 100%. And so now if we do that and we play, what happened at the beginning here? This one, we're at 100. Oh, this one we want to change the reverse of these, I think is what we want to do, to 100. Okay, so let's try again. Play it. Yes, it goes up. Is that right?
Maybe.
Oh, no, it's not right.
We've
Look
got
what's
two
happening.
cycles.
Yeah, let's take a look at it very carefully here. This one is going here to here. It looks like the inner piece still has got the animation on it. That's probably what's going on. Yeah, I want to clear the animation here so it's 100%. Delete all the keyframes. That I think is going to fix it. All right, one more time. So we go up as I move across, and what's happening here?
It jumps down to nothing at the start. Are those two linked?
100. No, they shouldn't be
No?
linked at all because there's two copies of them here.
Okay.
And this should go to 0. I think it's just that I was confused by the other second piece that's going on. Let's see if this works now. Yeah, that's working as we're... Not quite.
That stays at 100 now.
Why is that? It goes from 100. Okay, apparently I didn't do that. All right, one more time. Here we go. Getting the glow up and then dropping down. Okay, good.
There we go.
All right, so that's good. So now we got the glow, and I can now make changes right here. And so I can maybe make changes to color and that sort of thing. So let's play and look with that. I think I'm going to come in here and throw one of these on here, color balance on this. Where did that go in? That went in here. Interesting. I can maybe make some changes here a little bit. There we go. I'm liking that. Let's come back out and take a look at it. There we go. That's what I want.
Nice.
Okay, cool. So now there, look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
That's good.
We might want to make it so the glow doesn't go down all the way to 0. Let's fix
Sure.
that. Okay, so I'm like, so let's jump in here. Here's the glows right here. These are our animation pieces. And let's go to, instead of making it 0, let's make it just what is that, about 25%? So we'll go to 25% there. And then let's come over here and go to the beginning, and we'll make that 25% as well. And then we come out, look out here, and we can just kind of play it and get a sense of what the glow is going to do. And that's one cycle. So 1/3 of a spin is going to be one cycle. And so to verify that this is all going to be seamless, we can put a couple of these together and watch it play. And let's grab the background, bring it all the way across over here. So let's watch it. We're at 100%. Let me go to 150. Oh, what? Something not right here. Is it because, what's going on here? Hold on. Oh, I've got, look at that. It goes just black for the last frame. Let's figure out that. What is going on? We must have a, okay. Just zooming in here. The glow's all the way there. Let's go look at the glow. Is the glow not as long?
Very strange.
That might be the problem. Let's extend it. Whoops, I didn't want to do it that much by one frame. I just wanted to bring it out by one frame. Let's see if that was my problem. Nope, there's some problem here. What's going on? I have 0 here. Oh, I see. Look, there's a frame here at 25
right.
and a frame here at 0. That's my problem. So let's just do that.
Wasn't quite positioned perfectly for the application of the data.
Yeah, let's go back in here, and we're going to take away that frame we just added, and so that we're still kind of happy. And let's see what's happening now. Now we go to here. Okay, good. Let's come back out here. So all this is important because we're doing a loop, right?
Yeah.
And so let's go look at it now. Frame, I'm moving over, and so it's here, and then it goes to there. Yeah, I think it's going to work. So let's
Looks
play
all
it.
right now, yeah.
Play it. There's the transition, looked pretty seamless to me, and it's increasing its brightness glow and decreasing. I think that's a pretty cool looking portal.
Like
or I don't know if we call it portal, but it's a warp point is what I'm going to call it. Now let's do
Yeah.
one more thing. I want to make sure this hole in the middle is transparent because that's what we just said it was going to be. Let's
Yep.
take that. I just want to move it up a bit to make sure we can see something behind it. We can. Excellent. So that's what I wanted to verify as well, that we can see that. I think we are essentially done. The last thing we need to do to generate this is I need to take out the extra because I don't want these. I want this to be as small as possible so it takes the fewest resources.
Yep.
Let me do this. I'm going to do this and bring this. I want to bring this back up here so we've got full. Can I make that full screen? I guess I can't double click. I got to go like this so we can see this here, like that. So there's what that piece is right there. And now what I want to do is I'm going to go into the app and I'm going to change the size of the video. So this is actually one of the really cool things that you can do in Premiere. I'm going to show just a little bit of it right here. But what I can do here is I can come into sequence and I can say sequence settings. And then I can come up here and say the size, the frame size, and it can be anything I want. This is what makes it awesome for creating assets for games and things like that. So I'm going to guess at this, yeah, I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess that that's about 120 across, maybe 130 across, and 130 high. I'm going to guess. We'll see what happens. So I'm just going to do this. It's going to say, whoa, 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 you're about to change. This is crazy. Are you sure you want to?
You're going to break stuff.
And I'm going to do that. Okay.
It's a pretty good guess. That's not far off.
All right. So let's go back and change it. I'm going to say 150 by 150. Now, maybe 155 by 155. I appreciate the compliment, Rory, but that was not good for me. That was not a good guess. That was like way off. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's take it to 175 by 175, like that. 175. Did I get rid of the one? No, I didn't. Okay, 175, like that. And I think we're good with that. Let me let's double check it here. I'm going to move this to this. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. Move this to the center. And I think we're going to have to add a little more space, Rory, because I think it's hard to tell, but there's going to be an edge that's going to be clipped around here because I think this fade.
Well, you've got a square box that a hexagonal object is rotating in, so there's some sides that bleed off the edge.
So I'm going to add 10
where others don't.
I'm going to add 10 to this thing all the way around. So that'll give me 5 pixels all the way around, and let's see if we'll see after we generate if that's good or not. So I've just done that, and there we can see it. We're pretty much centered in there. I think I want to just nudge it to a bit to the right. What is happening there? That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. Let's make it 77 instead.
Is it possible to step through the frames in this view?
Yep.
Because if you were to take what is the northernmost, so effectively make it as big as possible on the north-south axes.
I see. Okay, good idea.
And then you'd be able to see, yeah.
Are we covered?
So that's a good way to sort of judge. It's not bad.
I'm having hold on, it looks like I'm experiencing a bug in this. Let me switch to 100 here. Let's see if I can switch to 77. Sometimes when you're dealing with cropped stuff, okay, the best way to do it is this. Just come in here and grab it and move it with the mouse. Yeah, it's a bug in Adobe Premiere apparently. Okay, that feels and looks pretty good to me. We do a spin on that. There might be a problem, but we'll see if there is and we'll fix it. There's a little stutter there, but it's, I think, because of the machine trying to catch up. If I move these one at a time, it's looking very smooth to me. Okay, I'm going to take out the background. Let me do that. There's the black background I've taken out, so there's the white background in the background, which has got the portal behind it. If we come in here and we move this a little bit, we can get like source code behind it. So you can see that's what it's going to look like there on a white background. So pretty cool. It still has the glow.
And actually the glow really does help the effect there as well. Strange, because we would have looked at it initially and gone, actually it looks all right already. But actually there's a quality added by the glow that just sort of raises it.
Right. No, I agree. It totally, and this is the cool thing, right? You can take other assets, like this asset was a spaceship asset that I was able to get from a subscription I have to Envato Elements. And I just grabbed it and I repurposed it, right? It's not hard to do that. So I'm going to delete the backgrounds like that. And then I'm going to say, okay, let's go ahead and generate these assets. And I want to create these, here, I'll bring this up so you can see this. Whoops. So I'm going to say I want to generate it as PNG. So I'm going to come in here and say I want to create a PNG file. And that's essentially all I need to do is just say I want to create a PNG. And that's it. And then I need to, let's get a good place for this. Hold on a second. CodeRushed. So now I'll bring this up here so you can see it. I'm going into, really, it's just going to say, all right, fine. Going all the way over there. Let's go into this overlay manager and www.root. I think we're in game dev, assets. And here's where we have all of the pieces that we've got out here. And so we could put this in drones folder. Drones has already got a warp in, which I'll show you that. The warp in is here.
Okay, so that's the warp in of the drone as it sort of grows from a yonder point.
Yep. And so you can see it coming in here. So we can just create a new folder here. And we'll call this the
kind of a warp gate kind
warp
of thing?
gate. Yeah, I love it. Warp gate, like that. And so we're going to put it in here. And there it is right there. And then I'm going to just come in here and say warp gate, like this.
Yep.
And now that I've done that, all I need to do over here is just say, make sure I've got the whole sequence here, the entire sequence across from beginning to end, and say export, like that. And now what's super cool about this, let me go grab this on another piece over here. Hold on a second. Let me get the right location. And let's see, Twitch, CodeRushed, Mr. Announcer Bot, Overlay Manager, www.root, Game Dev, Assets, and get to Drones, Warp Gate, and here they are.
Very nice.
Okay? So those are our warp gates. Whoa. We got 132. That's not bad. I thought we might have had more. I was like a little concerned with all the zeros here. But we've got 132 of these images right here. Now, if we want to drop this down, I'm actually thinking we want to drop this down because we want to, we want to conserve assets. We don't want to bring in a whole bunch. I'm going to just delete all of these for right now is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back in over here into Premiere, and I'm going to, let's take this, put it up here, like that, so we can see it. Inside of Premiere, I'm going to take this and I'm going to change the speed of this. And by changing the speed, I'm essentially dropping the length of this. So I'm going to cut it in half like that.
Less time is less frames.
Yep. Less time is indeed fewer frames. All right, so here we go. I'm going to, let's generate one more time. Come out here, call it Warp Gate, like this. Say export. Now you can see them being generated for us here. Now we should get a half of those, maybe 60. What's this line? Oh, what is that? This is something.
We've got a background that doesn't. This F.
Yeah, it looks like saying this efficiency or something. That's really bizarre. Shouldn't be there at all. This effect?
This effect is a shareware effect you must purchase the full version of.
Isn't that funny?
I don't know.
What is going on? I don't see that at all.
So
here.
Is the glow not... that would be
oh,
crazy,
you think the glow is...
The glow is an add-on purchase, maybe.
You think that's what it is? Okay, let's...
They let you play with it right up until the moment you export, and then they just take it away.
Super cool. A little sad about that. That's okay.
It's only a guess, but it's sort of...
I bet you're totally right. VR glow. Let's kill VR glow. Sad. But I think we can fake it. We can get close to it. Well, actually, let's do this. Let's put it in. Let's make a copy of this right up here and put it next to it and see if we can get close to it. Okay, and we'll compare the two. So we're going to grab VR Glow. That's really interesting. I bet you're totally right that the VR Glow is the piece that messed with us. And let's come in here and let's grab, so what we want to do is we've got a Gaussian blur here. We want to get a brightness and contrast somewhere probably above it and increase our brightness. Look at this. We're close. We don't need that. Let's increase our blurriness like that. I'd say we're pretty close.
So my only question is, how do you know that this effect is going to work any better in the export?
Because I know everything. I don't know,
I
Rory. No, because I do this. I've done this all the time. I've never used the VR Glow stuff. Let's save that and try and generate one more time. So we're out over here. Wait a minute. Why doesn't it look as good? Hold on. This is Glow. Is it just not big enough? Let's make it bigger. Let's do that. Oh, let's do this, Rory. Would this be weird? Let's change its size. Actually, maybe not here.
Size.
Yeah, but let's do size here though. When it goes up. So here we get to here. This is the peak of the glow. So we're going to do that. So we're going to go from here 100%. We're going to scale that. So I put a keyframe there, and then we go out to the end, and we're going to put a keyframe here, and we're going to make it there. Maybe what's that? 118.
So the only thing you've got to remember now is that you're going to need a physically wider and taller video to encompass that.
Oh, Rory.
When you export.
You're probably right. So, or maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, you're probably right. Fine. So 118 here. We're going to also animate this one, go out to the end, and we're going to come down to 100. Okay, so now if we look at this, it goes like this.
That's arguably better.
We don't need to pay for our stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. There's that there. All right. That feels good to me. Now let's look at the size, though. The problem is
it's not so bad.
It's not so bad, but you know what, Rory? Yeah. Let's bump it up by about 10, just to give it a little bit more space. So we're at 185. Let's go to 195 for both of these. Okay. And let's make sure we're really centered up there. It feels like it's a little off to me. I feel like
slightly annoying. The UI provides a center point, which is not the center point of the graphic.
That's because the graphic was not aligned in the center of itself. My source graphic was not aligned in its center. But this is, you can see there's the aspect ratio. That's the 1920 by 1080 aspect ratio there, or 16:9. Okay, but I think in general it looks pretty good. There it is. Here it is on a black background with code behind it. I think I'm okay with that. Here it is right here with the white background. I'm okay with that as well.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
So we've got that glow. It's increasing in size. We're going to put it out as a PNG. Let's come in here, grab all of these. We don't want these in here. Looks like I need to come in Warp Gate and open a new window. And so I can select all very quickly to delete them. And then go back in and then just call this Warp Gate by itself, and it's going to add the numbers and do the entire sequence and say export. All right, now let's go into the code and use it.
Yeah. This would be really good. Let's actually have a nice look behind the scenes of how all of these graphics you've been creating are made.
Right.
It's actually a really interesting process.
Right. So here we go. Here are all the graphics right here. And we've got their proper PNGs without that crazy.
And they have a glow.
And they don't have that. This effect is disabled because you are so lame. They don't have that. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. They've got a glow.
We are victorious.
Here's the last frame, frame 72. Look at how it changes when I click to frame 0. Barely a turn, right? It's
barely
perfect.
At all, yeah.
That's exactly what we want to do. All right, so let's go into the code and work on that. So here we go. Here's the code. Let me switch to a different view. Sex Positive says, for the love of God, don't compliment him. Sex Positive is my partner in crime, my wife, my beautiful wife. He will be so hard to live with now, Rory. Yeah, don't compliment me, Rory. That's not going to work out.
Oh, dear.
Karen spends her days reminding me I have no options. No one wants to be with me. She's merely tolerating me for now. No options, she says. Not one. Will Bennett says, behind the scenes with no bloopers. Well, maybe not yet. Hey, Will, nice to have you out here. All right, so let's see. There's the code. Let me switch to a different angle so we've got more of the code.
Bennett's my favorite person on the team.
Yeah, you like Will Bennett the most? Karen says, Sex Positive says she likes Will Bennett the best. That Will Bennett is her favorite. Okay.
Above you.
I know. I figured that's what you meant. Above me, she said. All right. So we want to, let's go into main because that's where we do a lot of our loading up of the resources we want to use. I'm going to create something here. We're going to use, we just want sprites. It's kind of like the drones right here. So we're going to, we're going to call this our drone gateway.
Mm-hmm.
Drone gateways, and that'll just be some sprites itself right there. And let's go look at where we instantiate drones red. Well, we're calling load drones there. I want a something like this code right here. So drone gateways is equal to that. I want to put it down in the main kind of area right in here.
Now, isn't there a zone where we disable and then re-enable something because the number of frames involved in the series of items?
Yeah.
There you go. The global bypass.
Frame skip.
Frame skip.
Yeah.
So do we need to be in or outside of that zone?
In if we want to keep all the frames in it. And
we only have something like 70 this time, so
we have enough to qualify for optimization, and I'm going to say don't optimize is what I'm going to say. So if it's in this zone, we are not optimizing. So there's our drone gateways right there, and we're going to specify the path, and the path is somewhere out here. It's in drones.warpgate, I think. That's all we have to specify as part of the path. And what's this? Expected frame count.
Well, do we not also need the name of the base name of the file? So that would be /warpgate with no space as well.
Yep, you're right. That's right, Rory. Thank you. And this is the file name, the base file name right there.
And we have two different types of slash in there.
Yeah, you're right.
The earlier one.
Okay. Excellent. Good. That's why you're here, Rory. Frame interval. How long, how many milliseconds between each frame? And this is basically going to determine how quickly it spins. I'm going to say 45. So I'm going to get kind of a slow moving because it's not a key element of the game. I don't want it to distract with fast motion. So its animation style is loop. Its pad file index is true. This is a feature I added so that I could very easily just generate. Prior to this, I had elements that didn't have leading zeros. I was creating them by hand. And then afterwards, when I found out that Premiere could do this so easily, I added this option right here. This last parameter is not needed at all. And I think we're done with drone gateways. For here, at least, the next piece that we need to do is we need to go see where we're drawing our drones. Don't we have a, all drones. Let's go look where all drones are drawn. Just having to reference here so I can get to it, update positions. We don't need that. All we need is a draw. And so we're inside the update screen function. And the question is, where do we want to draw them? And
well, they've got to be before the drones because the drone's going to want to come out of it, or at least the drone animation that brings it in.
Yeah. So it's the Z order, basically, as we're talking about here. So I'm going to say drone gateways.draw right here. And then we'll pass it in these parameters. So at the very least, it's going to happen before the drones. But this also means that drone gateway is on top of a wall, which I'm okay with as well.
Yeah,
so
that works.
We're essentially determining the Z order here. So we're going to do the drawing there. And the last thing we need to do is add a drone gateway is what we need to do. And so we've got this awesome test function in here. And this was a suggestion by Will Bennett from before. And so we're just going to say if, and we're going to do something like if params is equal to gate. I think gate is what I'm going to have to type in here, right? So we'll have gate right there.
Yep.
And let's see. Now I want to do is let's go. Sorry, what did you want to say, Rory?
Well, I'm just wondering if, not so much for the test now, but when we move on to sort of the proper implementation, are we going to have warp gateways be at random locations around the sort of the screen, or are we going to have them built in as part of the design of the level?
Yeah, it's going to be part of the level design. So,
Okay, fair enough.
so actually, you know what? Let's just do that. Let's kind of build this whole thing on. I think it's a great idea. So we're going to say gateway test right here is what we're going to do. So we're going to say a gateway test like that. Let's go in over here into sample game and let's create a new gateway test variation of this. So let's select that and duplicate it, call gateway text. And I think for the gateways, what do we think? An uppercase G? I think that could do, we can do
works.
that. So let's do that.
Yep.
We'll throw, let's put gateways in the four corners. See how bad that looks? Probably going to look bad, is my guess. And
Good to test the extremes regardless.
yeah, and put one down here and one right here, and I'll put one right in the center as well. And then the other thing I'm thinking, if more than one gateway is on here, we would want to, when we draw them, we are going to want to draw over them and create a number to identify which gateway it is. So that when you type in drone, you can specify which gateway number you want to jump into.
So this would be like the overlay that tells us who the drone belongs to. Or are you going to do something slightly larger,
yes,
just overlaying the whole thing?
It's just, yes, mechanically, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to do exactly that. So there's gateway test right there. And so the last thing we have to do is we have to now, in our code that processes this, which is, I think it's called Gravity Games, right here, we need to come in and we need to look at we kind of need to follow this code in and add horizontal game walls, add game walls. Just kind of following my way out here. Here we go. We want to do something like this, where we're going to say add elements, then we're going to say G, and then we're going to say add gateway.
Yep.
Like that. Then we want to go find add coin, and we want to essentially copy it like this is what we want to do. So we'll do this. And that thing was called
Something gateways.
yeah, I'm with you. Drone gateways.
Drone gateways.
That's what it was. Yeah, drone gateways, sprites push, news products. Now we're going to change coins to piece animation frame count. So this is going to give it a random starting point, which I actually want. So this first parameter here is the starting frame number. I'm going to let it start anywhere. Since we're in a loop, it doesn't matter. That means if I've got several of these up, they won't all glow at the same time. Okay,
yep.
If I wanted them to all glow at the same time, I'd give them all the same starting point right there.
And this is exactly like we had with the coins. So the starting at a different point within the animation
Yeah,
frame.
everything else is the same. We're kind of using this coin block width as our location in terms of determining where to put these particular pieces. So let's try that and see what happens. We might have to adjust a bit, but I think that's enough to play with it to get it to work. Let's come in and load, refresh our view. Come in here. Will Bennett asks, how do you like getDiff margin? I haven't used it. Is it up and running right now? Is that what's going on over here?
So I'm not familiar with this, but I'm guessing just by the name that this is a marginal piece of information to tell you what is different from your last commit. So that seems quite interesting.
I think it is. I'm loving it actually so far. I'm expecting, let's see, hold on a second. Let's go to test gate. Oh, look at that. In the stream, they're all around me. They are because it's bigger, it doesn't make sense to put them at the extremes. But in terms of what the stream looks like,
good looking though, isn't it?
yeah, it does. It looks really, really cool. I'm loving it. Is the answer to that question. What we should do though is let's do this. Let's adjust its position. Let's make sure our positioning is good. Notice in Portal we've got some I think some sizing kinds of modifications that we're making here, right here. And I think we're going to want to do something along these lines here as well. For we want that code more than the other, because let me show you why. If we go into layouts here, we go down to our test. We take this one on the middle. Let's put a coin all the way around it. So I'm just going to go put a coin here. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. A coin here, here, here. So we're just surrounding it by coins.
Yeah.
Right? Well, if that's the case, those coins should snugly fit around it. Right? So let's go refresh.
I'm going to bet it's going to overlap the sort of bottom right-hand coins.
Looks like, okay, cool. Hold on a second. If you click on one of these two, I guess that one right there, I can click on it. And then I have options here, jump to previous change. And
I guess there's navigation up and down around the file. Anything else on that little tool window?
wait, hold on. Oh, I see. Hold on. Show difference. Nice.
Interesting, yeah.
Okay, so I'm loving it. So to Will Bennett, I'm loving it is the answer to the question. I'm loving it. How do I get rid of this? What's my secret?
This is an additional tab, is that right? So you can kill the tab and remain.
Got
Hopefully
it.
the other one will still be there.
Nice. Okay, cool. Opens a new document. I like it. All right. So now we've refreshed here. Let's go in and do a test gate again and watch the stream, see what happens. Yeah, so you can see what's going on if you look at the stream, Rory. We're around the upper left, not the center. So we want to center these is what we want to do around that point in the designer so that it.
Yeah.
And so we want code similar to what we have in the other one. Gravity Games right here. We want code similar to what's in Add Portal. So let's do something along those lines. The delay start is interesting too. So this kind of allows things to pop up at a random level, which I like. So I'm going to keep that too. So I'm going to keep both of these. We're going to come in here like this.
It's interesting. We're getting kind of a hybrid between a coin and a portal for the two different effects that we use to offset them both.
I think you're kind of right here. We are. I wanted to start at a random location here, so I'm doing that. Instead of doing portal size, now I need to do it by our gateway size. So I'm just going to create this for now and just say gateway size, like this. And that gateway size is going to be, what was it, 195? 195 is what I think it was.
195 each way.
There's our gateway size right there. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to just do that same kind of halfway adjustment on both of those. I don't want this to be a portal. I want this to be a sprite proxy. For now, we might change it to a gateway, probably will, because we have that zoom in animation, the ability to create a drone that we want to be able to pop in there and give that to you. But for now, let's do that. We're going to call this a gateway, like that. And then we're going to push the gateway. And there's our X and Y. And I think that's it. And so we're going to save that. And let's come in and refresh. And so switch over here. Here comes the reload. And I can hear it pouring outside, Rory. Can you hear rain, the sound of rain broadcasting?
Not over my headset, no. Although we had more than our fair share here recently as well.
Excellent. Okay, we're loaded. Test gate again. Huh. Am I off on my size? Maybe it's not 195. That's what I'm thinking the problem is.
Don't know.
Let's see what we've got. Or maybe it's something different. Let's see what's going on here. It's 195. So the size is right. We're off by half a
we're
coin.
talking the size of the video entirely. Sorry, the actual
wait.
dimensions of the video, not the thing within the video.
No. This is. I mean, this is 195.
So what I mean is the warp gate itself is not 195.
Yes, it is.
However, the square video shape with surrounding it is 195.
Right, but that's the thing. We want to get this so it's centered. I think the problem is the centering looks like it's off by half of a coin in both directions. That's what it looks like it is to me. And so I want to
regenerate graphics.
Well, I want to see what's going on with this. We're putting coin margin, adding coin margin.
You're in
to
Add
it.
Portal at the moment. You need about one method.
Yes, thank you. So
But still the same thing. Coin margin and coin block width are involved in our locations.
yeah, I think that yeah, let's play with one of these. Let's play with these numbers right over here. I'm going to say coin margin plus the x is what I'm going to do. Is that going to make sense? Wait, I'm already adding to the x coin margin. Oh wait, coin
But it
block
is the
width.
margin around a coin. I think is it just fundamentally these would be different values for a gateway.
Yeah,
Or
the thing is though is I think that that location works for if I was going to draw a coin there. I think, is that right or no? Wait, if I'm adding a coin, I use this code to draw a coin. This same code, right?
yeah.
Hold on, I can see different code down here. Look, it's doing the same thing. Forgot to do this. See that?
Oh, okay, yeah.
The plus coin block width divided by 2. That's what we're
Sure.
missing down here in Gateway. That and that. That's what the pieces that we're missing right there. Let's go click on that. Look at the diff. Nice. It's kind of happy. Okay, so we've got that. Those are the changes. Nice. All right, so let's refresh. Let's do actually one more thing. Back in layouts, I was going to say let's put a coin on top, but I can't put a coin on top because I've got only the ability in here. I can't have any overlapping pieces in terms of my elements. So it's a limitation of the engine. Unless I created a gateway test 2.
You could have a second layer and just
Yeah, I could do that. I'm not going to do that now. So we'll just do this for now like this, and we'll refresh. Okay. So here we are. Let's get ready to type in test gate. Why is it not loading? Do we have a bug in here? It is not loading. Let's try grabbing this guy, refresh. But this, oh, I'm sorry. It's not loading because I didn't actually hit enter over here. That will be helpful. If I hit enter, that works. Okay, good. And now we've got it centered over in here.
that's looking a lot better.
And in the stream as well. That's what we wanted to have. Okay, excellent. So now we've got a way to launch drones. I think what I'm going to do, so I still don't have great internet, and I think we've had some lag today, Rory. I think I'm going to end the show.
Fair
Limited today's show to an hour since we don't have great upload speed, and then when we get back into it, we'll talk about launching the drones from here. Is what I think we're going to do. I think. And we might have Will Bennett on tomorrow, or he might be coming next week. I'm not sure. We'll see what his availability is. We're going to do. I've got a sound check scheduled with him later today, and we'll see what his availability is.
Okay.
So we might have Will Bennett here tomorrow. We might be doing some refactoring, or we might be finishing this up and having these.
Or we might be totally off rails again. Who knows?
We might also be doing that. Yeah, I actually have I have another project coming up for a second Twitch show that I'm starting with Rory Blythe with Sex Positive, my wife, Kent Alstad. Rory and Kent are both from the development world. And one more person. And it's going to be a Dungeons and Dragons show we're going to do on Sunday nights. And what I'm going to do with that is we're going to build like essentially a Dungeons and Dragons mini game in this show to support that show is what we're going to do.
Excellent.
So, so we're going to start work on that, I think, sometime in the near future. So I'm interested in that because I'm going to be learning about 3D assets and converting them over into 2D in some ways, I think. And we'll be playing in that world for a little bit, but things like with wizards and fighters and things like that, and battles, and having to track hit points and showing those on screen.
Bringing all the sci-fi and fantasy.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do, and so I'm kind of excited about that, and I have a feeling we'll be starting it maybe next week. That's my sense is what we'll be doing. So we'll
Okay.
probably put development on this on hold and switch over to something entirely new. And what's cool is we'll be able to, folks that are watching the CodeRushed show will be able to play in that space, and you'll be able to. Here, let me bring this up right here so you can see it on the white background. You'll be able to play in that space and make suggestions in that space, which are kind of fun. You'll be able to, when we bring up that overlay, you'll be able to actually play it live, just like viewers of that show will be able to do.
Cool.
Yeah, Sunday show going to be actually playing D&D. It will be. It's a comedy show. It's not a family show. It's more for adults. So we'll be saying some swears on it. But in this show, the worst we get is something like
Mother of pearl.
like that, or
Yikesters.
so because it's a family-friendly show. The worst we get is
Excuse your face, sir.
I feel kind of insulted by that, but okay.
Well, of course, there's obviously no reason to get any more leveled up than that because, of course, our code is always perfect.
Really? It's only when you're here, Rory, that happens. When you're not here,
Hey, I think you've had a pretty good run today.
you think
Everything's
so?
gone really well.
it's not bad. Okay, we did go from 0 to starting. Let me click these coins. We don't have the ability to collect coins. I want to be able to do that from the rocket ships. We can only currently collect coins from the spaceship itself, which I'm about to demonstrate here.
I do quite like the visual there of the drone in front of the warp gate. That's looking pretty nice.
Yeah, it does look pretty cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's go down 0.5. We're going to give away copy CodeRushed here in a second, too, by the way, kids. So stay tuned for that. Let's go left about 2. Get those, and there it is. Yeah, you look good, Rory.
Yeah.
You look pretty good. Yeah, the warping is actually, I think, going to be also very cool. The warping in, if we look at it, I actually played with it. If you look at the preview over here, watch as I advance through the frames. Watch what happens. The front blades come in first, and then the back comes in right there. See that right there?
Very, very good. Yeah, so it's the very
It's like a
pseudo Star Trek effect.
Yeah,
where you
exactly.
Stretch the model.
yeah. It's kind of fun. So it's like it's going to look like a real warp as it
Rubber
comes in.
banding onto the screen.
Yeah, we combine that with a nice sound effect, and I think we're gonna love it. It's gonna be fun. So,
No, maybe not.
yeah, okay, we'll work on that. We'll see what we got. So,
I'm sure we can come up with a million things that are better than that.
SNBS, do you have time for the D&D show? Well, yeah, it's happening on Sunday. So, and it's devious plan. It fits perfectly into my family. It counts as family time for me. So, because my wife's on the show as well. So, it's awesome. It's a devious plan.
You've got to be careful. You're going to get the kids gate crashing.
Yeah, maybe the kids have already asked if they can be part of it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe one episode we'll have the kids on or something like that.
Fair enough.
So, all right, let's give away a copy of CodeRushed, and we'll wrap it up. Hold on, guys.
You know what time it is?
That was a little premature. It's time for
Code Rush giveaway.
that's right. It is time for a CodeRushed giveaway. By the way, Mr. Announcer Guy, did not like all that swearing you did earlier.
Sorry-ish.
Okay. All right. Who's the winner, Mr. Announcer Guy?
Gumshoe Noir.
Gumshoe Noir.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
You
Will.
have won a copy of CodeRushed.
Nice job. That's really good work. Okay. Oh, sorry. SNB is asking, oh, do you have a time? That was my fault in reading that. SNB.
Yes. What time is it going to be happening?
Yes, it's going to be happening.
He's looking to tune in already. You see, this
Yeah,
is what it is.
it
Sounds
is-
like a great show.
It's going to happen at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Is the I just put in the chat room there. So you have to do the calculations around the world wherever
Okay.
you are.
That's 4 o'clock in the morning in the UK.
Yeah, apologies to folks in the UK. It is currently, we've got to get 5 people together, a dungeon master and 3 or 4 players, and so it's a little tricky getting the time right. That's how
This
we're.
is still going to be on Twitch, right? So,
It's
after
Twitch
the
Live.
fact, we can still view.
You can view it after the fact. However, doing it live, I think, is going to be fun because the other thing that we're going to be able to do is viewers will be able to change the course of the game by giving luck either good or bad, to individual players.
So you've got to behave yourself on stream in order to curry favor with the viewers.
That's
in order
right.
To gain as much luck as possible.
Or whatever. It may happen the opposite of it.
Possibly the other way around.
There was a time, Rory, when as part of a speaker tour, all the speakers were taken out to do paintball, and they divided us into teams. And into the act of dividing us into teams, guess who was the last one picked? Everybody didn't want to pick me, not because they thought it was necessarily bad. It's not on this stream. It's a new stream, Will Bennett. It's a new stream, and I'm not revealing the name of it yet. I'll reveal it on a future show, I think is probably what I'll do. Or should I? All right, I'm going to say it now, I think is what I'm going to do. But this will give you, the name is actually not a name I can quite say, I think. I'm not quite comfortable saying it yet on this show. But that's it right there. Just put it in the chat room.
Really?
That's it. It is, that name should give you a sense
That will tell you
of-
everything you need to know
about the show. It may not be like, a follow the rules all the time Dungeons and Dragons show. It's based on, it's kind of a blend between Dungeons and Dragons and my old Mondays podcast that I did with Carl Franklin and Karen Mangicotti, who's now my wife, and Richard Campbell. And so it's going to be irreverent, to say the least. So we're kind of putting that together. We expect it to come out in January, to start streaming in January. We are still everybody's getting their equipment together, and we are practicing getting our chemistry together, all of that. So when we come out of the gate, we'll be coming out of the gate instead of with nothing like we did with this show. We'll come out of the gate, and hopefully by January we'll have some basis of a game, so that as a player, you can actually appear on screen as a wizard or a fighter or whatever and do things like cast spells, fight off little mini monsters while we're playing the game. That's what we want to do. I think it's going to be beautiful and cool. So, and I'm excited about that. So, S&B already says followed. Okay, so yeah. So thank you.
Now.
Thank you for that. Yeah. So with that, thanks, Rory, so much. Thanks,
No
Will.
trouble at all.
Bennett, so much. Will, let's get together later today and we'll do a sound test. And S&B, great to see you out here. We will pick up tomorrow with something. I'm not sure what it's going to be. Some continuation of one of these loose threads. And Rory, I'll see you tomorrow as well.
Will do, man.
All
Have
right.
a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.